Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime Making 3. And today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto and his clan was betrayed by Konoha. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, remember to go ahead and check out the other what ifs. Anime King 2, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was sent to the Marvel Universe. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy guys. And over Anime King, I post a brand new series, so go ahead and check that out guys. And also, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, yes, I have 4 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3. And Anime Prince, which I post what if every single day for you guys to enjoy. Links will be down in the description, so go ahead check them out and yeah, enjoy guys. And also, turn on the bell notifications they posted. And what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin now guys. So the last spot we left off, we started with a flashback. A young Naruto was making his way to Konoha, as he was gonna get himself killed. He wasn't planning on entering the village, he wasn't planning on going in calm. Well, he would try his best to get close, and he would set off a chain of explosions, which he would use to bomb the entire place. He was gonna bring Konoha to its knees, however, Hanuka stopped him. She told him that he's gonna have to get through her. He pulled his blade and put it to her throat. She told him to kill her after all. If he were to die, she would have nothing left to live for. Her parents had been killed, while she had Natsu. The care that she had for Naruto was so great that, well, if he was gone, well, everything would fall apart. The only reason why the remaining survivors were able to stick together was because of him. Seeing as young boy like him, so passionate, so forgiving that they will find their way back. Well, it gave the others hope. So if he was gonna die, well, kill her, she told him. However, he could never do something like that, as she was able to talk to him and calm his nerves, because he would have been walking right into his death. We then skip to the future. Since they had been grown, the both of them had been together. They didn't really have any idea of where this was going, seeing that the both of them were currently sleeping together. But they had no idea where it was going at all. But they never talk about that after all. They had too much things to do to worry about something romantic right now. But the both of them sharing passionate eyes together gave them a feeling of happiness that they relished most of the time. So yeah, that was pretty good. At Konoha, Mito and Sasuke were currently clashing. Sasuke was the top member of the class, while Mito was a dead last, considering that she never had any control over her chakra. But now Mito was able to go blow to blow with him, and actually keep up with him, and even knock him around as well. Sasuke was baffled at that she was so strong, as he couldn't understand. Kakashi had to come and stop the fight before they could go any further. Once that day was up, she went home. She was able to learn that she had a special ability. A special one that she could use to sense people's emotions. Not just where her enemy was, she could find out what they were feeling. So that is why she felt this thing from the old man and everyone else. It was their true emotions deep down. Now she knew, now she understand. That made things a whole lot worse. The letters that she's been getting has been helping her as well. In basic things that are making her stronger. She practiced in the forest of death at nights in secrets, and no one ever knew. She was getting stronger and stronger, and she would not tell a single soul because, at the moment, she didn't know if she could trust any of them. And the more time went on, she wasn't trusting them anymore. As she was able to make contact with the fox, something that surprised her. As she's been working on this for a long while now when it actually happened. However, Kurama was different. He was strange. She didn't expect the fox to be like this at all. But Kurama had many secrets. Not to mention, you remember when that woman came crying to him about how sorry she was. That woman was Mito. He told her how much she looked like Mito, as she stood there a bit shocked at that. However, he told her that now was not the time, as he blew her out of the mindscape. Seeing that she had no conscious thought on how to get back in, she wasn't able to get back in, as she didn't really know what to do. On the outside though, she was waking up, as she wondered what the hell was that. However, Kurama knew a lot of things. Mito was able to speak to him about a lot of things. Their relationship changed after she found out how the world and Konoha was set. Kurama could not wait until he meet this Naruto Uzumaki, the one that will change everything. The old man did say that one person would use what he taught to change the world for the better. Perhaps he was wrong. Or perhaps changing the world like this is the best thing to do. After all, many people did not deserve the position they were at or what they were doing. And Kurama was all grateful for this. Not to mention, he couldn't wait to tell Naruto Uzumaki who killed Kushina, because he wasn't the one that killed her on the night when he was ripped out of her by the masked man. It was someone else, and he couldn't wait to tell him. As for Naruto, as he met up with Masaki, who was being scouting out her former home, as she had an idea how to get the two-tailed Jinchuriki on their side, while getting the eight-tail would be literally impossible because, well, he was a brother for Raikage, but the two tails. She had a plan, as Naruto told her to be careful, and if anything happened, she should call for him, as she told him that she will before she left, making her way to make him proud. As Naruto made his way, he took a deep breath. Before he went to do what he did, he met up with Natsu. Natsu was off as he was with someone in a different village, as Naruto told him to enjoy himself as much as he could. After all, what was the point of living if you can't enjoy your life? As Naruto was happy for him. That is when he got the journal that Hanoka gave him. Arriving towards his location, he opened the journal. As Mito appeared, he wanted answers to his questions. It was then that she told him that she was his real grandmother. Now Naruto understand the treatments that she used to give him when he was younger. Why she treat him different than anyone else, like he was somehow more special. She was actually his real grandmother. To his surprise, his parents did not even know. It was because of who was his grandfather. Mito shocked him by telling him that it was Madara Uchiha. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across the play check of yourself, and what do you say we jump right into this new episode, guys? Begin now. We start this episode off in a flashback of the past. Two people were currently located in a hideout. This would not be a problem if the two people weren't, well, really special. And when you find out who they were, anyone else would be rather shocked. Not to mention, after the activities that they had just finished. However, the woman was still awake. Her name was Mito Uzumaki, daughter of the clan head, widow of Hoshirama Senju. At the moment, she was in her late 40s. And the person in the bed was not Hoshirama because he was dead. As she glanced over, long dark hair, his eyes were closed. It was the ghost of the Uchiha, Madara Uchiha. How did she end up in this situation? Well, we had to go back a bit to find out. The Uzumakis were one of the most deadliest clan in the Elemental Nation. Yes, granted they separated from the Senjus a long time ago, and take their own title. However, they got several things from Ashura as well, such as his chakra, his stamina, and unlike the Senjus, they had a strange chakra, most of them did, that could calm the tail beasts. Not to mention, some of them had chains that could bind even the 9 tails. So yes, they were truly powerful. However, the Senjus and Uzumakis were never always allies. In the past, Uzumakis were a bit of a savage. Yes, they fought for land, domination, and destruction. The former Uzumakis, the ones that separated from the Senjus, they were dangerous. When they started Daver in Fuinjutsu, they became one of the most dangerous clans in the Elemental Nation. Before it was even formed, people feared their name. This was a long time ago, granted, but the fear and the power that they held kept people in line. However, as the time whittled down, the Uzumaki started to take on a more sedated role. Given the leaders being switched, members started to get more calm and they started to realize that the most important thing was family. And because of their immense sensory ability that almost all of them possess, they can feel what is in an individual heart. They understand people more than anyone else. That is why, a long time ago, knowing that if the two clans were to join, the Uchihas would be wiped out, father of Madara Uchiha, Tajima Uchiha, decided to stop that from happening. So he went to the Uzumakis trying to propose something happen between the two clans. As he thought about the clan history of how savage they were, thinking that would work in his proposal, but at the time, father of Mito Uzumaki, he was a different man. He was calm, sedated, and granted very powerful. However, he didn't want any of this. He only wanted peace. That is why he turned down the proposal. However, Tajima had brought his eldest son, Uchiha Madara, who was just a kid at the time. He had not even met Hoshirama yet. That is where he lay eyes on the most beautifulest girl that he ever saw. The young boy's heart ached at seeing her. Maybe it was just love at first sight. It had to be. When he spoke to her, she had all the things that made up a powerful female, something that Mother highly respected. Mito didn't take crap from anyone. Despite her calm, sedate personality, she was tough. She was a leader, a powerful woman, the strongest one that he has ever met since his mother. However, because of what happened between their clans, as Mito's father would not join allies with the Uchihas at all, Madara thought he would never see her again. However, he was unaware that in that meeting, something also happened to her as well. He was loud, he was boisterous, and he had the heart of a warrior. And she liked that. However, she was upset when her father told her that this proposal would not stand. So like that, a few years went by, and she heard that she was going to be married off to Hoshirama Senju. It was supposed to make their clan greater. She wondered what kind of character this Hoshirama Senju was. She was brought towards the Senju compound, where she had met him. While he wasn't as boisterous and as violent as the one that she met all those years ago, he had a kind heart and he was a good person. However, as the time went by, she was able to find out that one of his biggest rivals was the one that she first fell for, Uchiha Madara, and that was a problem. However, because of their rivalry, she never got face to face with him. Nothing happened for a long while. She never saw him, nothing at all, until it came to a stop. Once they met again, she thought he did not remember her because he acted like he did not. So she decided to say nothing about it. Until a day he pulled her aside and told her he remembered her. She didn't know what to say or do about that. He understood her situation, as Hoshirama was his friend, the person that helped him see through the darkness and survive this. However, the thought of seeing her almost every day, given the fact that she lived in the same village, was a rather haunting one for him, but he tried to block it out. He tried his best. However, the stress of everything was too much on him, and somewhere along the line his ideals changed. Before he left that night, he told her to come with him. She thought he was crazy, of course. How the hell could she do that? There was so much here for her and she would never just leave like that. However, he was adamant on her coming. He told her what he felt for her, saying that he would be the better person, the better man. However, she could not, and he left with a broken heart. And a part of her actually felt bad for that, despite knowing that she was doing the right thing, staying in her family. So why did she feel so bad? What was wrong with her? And the battle happened between them. When she first showed up at the Valley of the End, he was shocked to see her. She had took the Nine Tails and sealed it within herself. He gave her a look of absolute betrayal as him and her husband went off to fight. And he came back saying that Madara was dead. A part of her felt strangely hurt. Why should she? That was a long time ago. She was just a kid. Why the hell did she felt that? It didn't make sense. She tried her best not to think about it. That was until Hashirama died sometime later from an illness in his early 40s. That was a big blow to Konoha and their strength. He died from a special illness that not even he could survive with his almighty medical ninjutsu and his supreme body that was able to heal from almost anything. Because his illness was capable of rotting his cells, they destroy his cells and organs. She had mourned for him, cried for him for days. However, a few years later, tragedy struck once more. Tobirama was trying to stop the war between the nations, the First Great Shinobi War, where they were tricked and ambushed. Hiruzen and his team came back. However, Tobirama had died. Another part of her family lost, as Hiruzen took up the mantle of Hokage. And that was just a few years after Hashirama's death. She was currently 45 at the time. She tried her best to be strong for little Tsunade and the others. She tried her hardest. That was until a year later, her son died. Yes, Tsunade's father. And her mother as well, who she came to see as a daughter, because she was her daughter despite not being directly blood. They died on a mission, leaving her absolutely broken. Nowaki and Tsunade were there, but she tried to stay strong, but inside she was hollow and empty. Despite the smiles, despite everything, she was broken. And then he appeared, in the dead of night. On Madara's side, he had heard everything. Yes, he had been keeping tabs on the village after faking his death. That woman had broke his heart. Madara had never been with anyone because there was just something about her that he didn't know. Hearing that she lost so much, he knew that he should not care. Why should he care? She got herself involved and also took the Nine Tails. However, there was one thing that no man or woman, no human sometimes can fight against. And that was a damn human emotion and heart. So despite his actions against this, he went to Konoha just to see her. Maybe a part of him knew that he wanted her to see him as well, because he knew about her immense sensibility. However, he got too close. A part of him allowed himself to be caught. And when she told him as she knew that he was there, as he revealed himself, she was shocked. As she couldn't believe it, she thought that she was going crazy when she sensed his chakra. However, it was indeed him, alive, which made no sense. He was here in front of her. However, she did not tell a soul. Madara found that rather strange. She told him that she would not allow him to destroy what her husband, Tobirama, and everyone else built. But he told her he wasn't here to fight, just to see if she was okay. And a part of her believed him instantly, but a part of her was worried. But just like that, he left that night. And he came back 2 days later. And he did not bring anything. No chaos, no war. He just wished to talk, which startled her even more. She was lonely. She was hurting. And he was her iron rod that was there for her, which she held on to. She became attached to him in a sense. And things escalated from there. At first she tried to fight it, her feelings, but she couldn't fight it forever. and the both of them end up in bed after a week later. When she left that first night, the guilt had eaten away at her. However, a month later, she found herself going back. Despite the guilt that she was feeling, she tried her best to fight it, but she could not. However, at the moment, she found herself in a rather sticky situation. She was pregnant. She was 48 years old and she was pregnant. This was a rather big shock, as she couldn't believe it. She didn't know what to do. No one could find out about this. She thought about not even telling him. However, she was a loving, caring woman who wanted the best for every child. So she decided to go through with it, using Fuinjutsu. No one was able to tell that she was even pregnant. She had a best friend at Uzu who had came by to Konoha to pay visits. And that best friend had been the only one that she told. Her name was Urza Uzumaki. When she told Urza, she was beyond shock, baffled, and she couldn't believe what she was hearing. However, Urza was her best friend, and she kept it to herself. So she actually ended up giving birth to a beautiful baby boy. However, there was a problem. This boy could not be known as a son of Mito. After all, they would ask who was the father, and no one could ever know. That is why Urza took it upon herself to take him with her. Mito came by every now and then, saying that she was paying a visit to Uzu, but she went to a different location where Urza had set up a good life for him to be taken care of and watched by the traveling Uzumakis. There was a group of Uzumakis that usually left home for years. Sometimes some of them didn't come back. Sometimes they did after wandering the world, taking in other sights and checking out how everything was going at the moment. Some of them took new lives, some of them moved to different nations, keeping their identity a bit hidden because of the talent that they possess. However, these people were kind. Some of them were like monks. They wanted to see the world for what it truly was. So they did not question when Urza had asked them, especially a friend of hers, to watch over the baby. The woman had never had kids of her own, so she was beyond grateful. She took him like her own, never knowing that this was Mito and Madara's son. He had been born with red hair and dark eyes, like his father, the red hair from his mother's side. He started to grow, and he was never told about who his parents were. He took to the woman that took him like a mother, and that pained Mito, that she could never tell him that she was his mother. She wanted him to live a life without any baggage, so she just had to watch from afar. This woman had returned back to Uzu, bringing the child with her. No one had questioned anything. As she had came there and the boy grew up. He was named Kazuma Uzumaki. Kazuma Uzumaki grew up to be a fine warrior. However, he had a peaceful side as well. It seems like he took more after his mother than his father. Madara was just happy to be there with Mito. As the years passed, Madara was thinking about changing certain ideals, changing things that, well, happened. In the background, the both of them watched as Kazuma met a girl and fell in love. And they had a girl, which they named Kushina. And then they had a boy, which they named Naruto Uzumaki. And the family was happy. Madara and Mito was happy to watch on the back, as they were getting up there in the age, still having their secret relationship until Uzu was wiped off the face of the map. Everyone was slaughtered. Everyone was killed. Madara was furious. He had watched his son, he had watched his grandchildren grow up, watching them from afar. When he lost them, the only legacy that he had in this world, despite they will never know that they were his. It seems that the Uzumaki genes was strong enough to overpower the Uchiha genes because Kazuma never awakened a Sharingan, not even once, despite being put on the battlefield. Well, he was more of a pacifist, so he did not enter battle that much, but still. That was a good thing because people would start to question even more. Mito was also worried about that. That is why she was designing a seal to lock away the Sharingan. However, she never had to use it. Mito had broken down for more reason than one when she heard about the death of her clan. However, one person had survived, and that was Kushna, her granddaughter. She was shocked, but she was so happy to see that someone from her planet survived. However, Madara was a curious person. He did his research, and he was able to find out several things. When he brought his findings to Mito, she refused to believe him. Hiruzen would never do something like that. However, how the hell did the three nations were able to get into Uza, bypassing security? Not to mention Madara found remnants of snakes and also toads. Something was wrong. However, Mito decided to investigate herself. And after a year or two, she was able to find out that Hiruzen was the one that authorized this. Using her phone to create a listening device. She couldn't believe what she had heard. She was so angry she wanted to use the Ninetales to rip Konoha apart. Knowing that Hiruzen uses Anvus and ninjas Danzo involved, the Sanins, except for Tsunade, she knew that Tsunade would never go with this. They were involved. She was so angry, she wanted all of them to pay. She had lost hope in the fate on this village. Hiruzen going along with the ideal that, whatever made Konoha remain on top, that is always the way. She had lost it. She went to Madara that day, telling him that she wanted to take Kushna, and for them to finish the plan that he started. She disregarded everything that she had held in the past. However, at the moment, the both of them were too weakened. They had gotten up there in the age, despite being still dangerous, they were weakened. And they could not really do that much. Except for her, sacrificing her life by giving the Kyuubi full control to wreak havoc, and even then there was a possibility of that going bad. So they started a plan. They started a plan on nothing, because they barely had anything left. However, after a few months, Mito was contacted. It was a good thing that she had shown Urza where she was located when she had went to speak with Madara in private. Urza had survived, and a few more Uzumakis. A few non-fighters mostly. The ninjas had sacrificed their life for them to live. There was a lot of kids there. And she couldn't believe it when she saw him. Naruto had survived. However, Kushina had already mourned. Lost in her mother, father, and little brother. She had mourned, thinking that he had died. And this was months later, as she started to adapt to Konoha. At first, Mito wanted to tell her everything, but their plan had to come first. They can know later. And that is how it happened. That is how everything led up to this moment. The experiment on the three kids that they saw suitable enough to do their plan for them in the future. Skip back to the present time. Naruto sat right on the sofa, looking at the hologram as she finished explaining everything. She told him everything that happened. She told him all of his history. She expected him to be mad, furious, as she watched as he took off his glasses and rubbed his eyes. So, the history about the sage, about combining the two bloodlines. You lied to me about that as well. Yes, I told you that they were going to insert both DNAs, but we only had to insert one because you were already part Uchiha, she said. So that is why I have these, said Naruto, as Mito looked up towards his eyes. Naruto's eyes were different. There was a reason why he wore glasses. His eyes were black. Completely. However, he had circles in his eyes that contrast one another, and they were white. The eyes was known to be the Rinnegan, however, his Rinnegan was different, considering the color. So now that I know this, why do my eyes look like this? It's because of the experiments that was done on you and the others. So they don't possess this because they didn't have the Uchiha DNA, said Naruto. Yes. So you lied about that as well, said Naruto. Yes, said Mito. I know you're upset. No, I'm not, said Naruto. You aren't, she said, looking at him. As Naruto leaned back. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm furious, said Naruto. However, hearing about your story, it made me see that you have flaws as well. You always act like this benevolent being. Someone I thought could do no wrong. Mito looked down. However, knowing that you made a mistake, from what you have told me, I suppose I can understand at least a part of that. I am still angry that you forbade me from seeing my sister, and know that she's dead. I know, said Mito. So let's not talk about that, said Naruto, because I don't think I'll ever get over that. As he reached and picked up his glasses, the seals on the glasses activated, keeping his eyes suppressed. How is your control coming along, she said. Well, soon enough. I won't need these glasses anymore, said Naruto. Normally, the Rinnegan would be able to be controlled by someone like him because of the DNAs that were currently inside of him. However, there was a problem with that. Because of the experiment and Naruto was born special from other Uzumakis because of his lineage. His sister was never born with the Sharingan either. Neither of them had the Sharingan. However, they had the DNA inside their system. But the problem was, Naruto talents far surpassed any that came before him. It just needed to be unlocked, and Mito and Madara pulled that talent out too fast. That is why he had to wear the glasses. When he was not wearing them, his body kind of tapped into that reservoir of power without his consent, and his eyes being on the display kind of created, well, chaos. So the glasses helped suppress his eyes. There were special seals crafted in them. Little by little he was gaining control, which hadn't been easy, considering that he's had these eyes for the past couple of years and he still hadn't fully mastered them. Not in terms of ability-wise, but in terms of controlling the power that was currently deep inside of him. That could very well be too much for his body if he did not tame it. As Naruto glanced up towards Mito. So you and Madara are my real grandparents, huh? He said. Yes. Now I understand why you treated me that way. Like I was special than the others. You just love me more than them. Yes, and it pained me every day not to tell you. I know that saying sorry won't help it, but I truly am, she said to him. As I said Naruto as he got to his feet. There is no point talking about that right now. The whole world is flawed. However, I, not alone though, intend to fix it. Yes, there will be struggles, but you're one of the people that has taught me to prepare for that. And trust me, I've been preparing for the longest time now. Everything is going to be set in motion very soon. And soon we will make our move. Despite everything that you've done, it's because of you why I am what I am today. A lot of people will die in the process. Hundreds, maybe thousands, but I carry with me the dreams of the ghost of the Uchiha clan, the heiress of the Uzumaki clan, and the matriarch of that village, said Naruto. And I also have my sister Will with me as well. She always wanted just to be happy. I'm glad that she was able to find this Minato no Mikaze and settle down with. However, my niece is in that village, and I intend to save her, said Naruto. Time skip. A few months later, it has gotten worse. That was the thought on Mito's mind. Everything had gotten so much more worse. Over the past few months, she has been able to speak to the fox, but like usual, he's been cryptic, keeping many things to himself. He told her that she should not trust a single soul in this village. They're using her. He also called her something else. He did not call her by her right name, Mito Makino. He said Mito Uzumaki. Why would he call her Uzumaki? He never elaborated on that. She tried to find any remnants of Uzumakis. She found a few. However, it seems like someone had scrapped everything from the record about this Uzumaki. What did that mean? That is when she was able to find out that the first Hokage wife name was Mito Uzumaki, just like her. When she told the fox that, he said one name. He said Kushina. She was confused who was Kushina. And once again he chose to ignore her. He's giving her riddles and parts to figure it out herself, with this smirk on his face like he's loving what he's doing. And she was able to search and search, but There was not even a single ounce of this cushioner. That confused her. Maybe he was just messing with her. That is when she went to the memorial stone. And she saw a name there. Kushner. However, there was no last name, it just said Kushner, leaving Mito terribly confused. However, she felt someone watching her. She didn't know who this person was, but they had no emotion. Nothing at all. She could feel literally nothing coming from them. It was like they were a robot or a machine. She didn't understand. So she decided to stop her search out in the open. But even as she went home, she felt the person. Day after day, night after night. It was like they had no life of their own. Like they were some sort of puppet. The more she took in everything, the more she started to get paranoid. The Hokage was lying to her. Kakashi was lying to her. He knew something as well. All of them did. Not to mention the rumors about this Crimson Reaper organization. She was sure that this person that was sending her letter was a part of this organization, but why? Who was this person, she thought? She was so wrapped up, her mind was not focused as someone patted her on the shoulder. She quickly drew a kuna and pressed it against the person's throat. Sakura's eyes went wide in fear. "It's me, Mito, it's me!" Sakura said, panicking, as Mito was about to slit her throat. Mito's eyes looked haunting. They scared the hell out of Sakura. Mito stepped back. "Oh, I'm sorry," she said. "What's wrong with you?" Sakura said. "Oh, it's nothing, I'm fine," said Mito. Sakura did not believe that one bit, but she was the last person that Mito would ever open up to. "So, we're going to see Kakashi-sensei, right?" "Yes. He told us to meet him today," Mito said as he kept on walking. Sakura kept on sharing glances towards her, not understanding what was going on. That is when they heard a yell. As they both made their way down the alleyway to see Konohamaru, the third guy grandson. Mito didn't really have that close of relationship with the boy. He was a stuck-up little brat. However, he was still a Konoha shinobi, she thought. But did that mean anything anymore? But before she could say anything, "Put him down!" Sakura yelled, as she watched her idiotic teammate rushed over. She noticed the people headband. They were from the Hidden Sand. Oh, it made sense now. The Chunin exams. That is why Kakashi wanted to meet up with them. She watched as Sakura argue with them. However, what was this feeling? She noticed Sasuke in the tree, but she pretended like she did not. However, there was another one. Looking up, their eyes met. Mito felt nothing but raw hate, disgust, anger, rage, conflicting, so much emotion, sadness, pain, anguish from this person. He had right here with the kanji for love on his forehead. Their eyes stayed locked for a few seconds, until she heard a cry, as the guy had pushed Sakura away, as he was gripping Konohamaru by his shirt. Mito just looked at him. Kankuro froze. What the hell is up with this girl, he thought, her eyes pouring into his own. Kankuro felt fear. He felt fear from this girl, as she just kept on looking at him. Temari also saw it as well. However, before they could say anything, Gaara appeared as he dropped Konohamaru. Gaara stepped forward towards her, however, a stone was thrown, stopping Gaara's movement, as Sasuke jumped out of the tree. But Gaara paid him no mind. "You, who are you? You don't just go ask someone their name like that. Why don't you introduce yourself first?" "Gaara of the desert. Now tell me who you are." "My name is Mito. Just call me Mito," she said. "Mito." He stepped towards her. "Your eyes, they're just like mine. Are you perhaps participating in the Chunin exams?" "Yes, I think so." "Good," said Gaara. "I can't wait to meet you there." "Kankuro, Temari." The both of them stiffened. "Let's go." As he walked away. "What the hell was that?" Sakura said. Mito started to walk away. "Hey, wait!" As Sakura turned towards Sasuke. "Does she seem a bit strange to you?" "She's always strange," Sasuke said. "No, that's not it. I think something is seriously wrong with her," said Sakura. But Sasuke had stopped listening. He was angry at being dismissed by that red-haired freak. These sand ninjas believed that they could walk in his village and not take notice of him. He was goddamn Sasuke Uchiha. Meanwhile that was going on, Orochimaru, the Sannin, a man that was said to do great, disturbing, diabolical things. He was a man of, well, how would you say? Death, chaos, carnage. The man barely seemed human. A part of him wasn't anymore. He had turned himself into a twisted, dark, decrepit thing. However, at the moment as he sat on his throne, there was a chair in front of him as he waited for his guests to come and take a seat. Finally, after all this time, Orochimaru was going to meet the head of the Crimson Reapers. The group seemed similar to the Akatsuki, given the strength of their allies. That meant the leader must be something quite special to be able to control so many powerful ninjas. However, Orochimaru has not met all of them per se. However, he did know that Zabuza was a lot stronger than what his title left on. If those Kirin ninjas believed that he was the same as before, they would be walking into their certain death. It seems like this leader had trained him to become a far worse demon than they expect. Zabuza had become a dangerous individual, and that's not counting the other members that Orochimaru did not even know about. At the moment he was waiting to meet the so-called leader so they could have a chat. It was then that he felt it. He's here, he thought. Meanwhile, walking down the hall was Teiwaya, as it was her job to escort him to the location. She wanted to be anywhere else right now. Teiwaya, who loved to run her mouth and speak freely, was speechless because of this person. He had his hands behind his back. The moment they met, as he came in, he didn't say anything, but there was something about him that chilled her to their bones. Orochimaru was a scary dude. She understood that, but this person was worse. It was someone that you would see in your nightmares. And he wasn't even looking at her or sending any evil intent. It was just something about him that was freaking her the hell out. As they walk in silence, they arrive towards the door. He's right in here. Usually, walking into an unknown location with someone like Orochimaru, people would be cautious. However, there was no amount of fear or nothing on his face to show that he was worried. It was like he did not fear the snake Sannin in the slightest. "He's inside," she said, as she pushed open the door. He said nothing as he kept on walking. Rude, she thought to herself. He paused as he looked back towards her. Sweat started to build on her forehead. Could he read her mind? However, he just turned away and walked. She released a breath that she didn't know she was holding. When Naruto first arrived, he thought that she might be a Uzumaki. The traits of her here was similar in most people, but Uzumaki have a certain density to their chakra, which she didn't have. However, Naruto knew that most Uzumakis from the Wandering tribe had left. And somewhere out there were other Uzumakis. Over the years, he was able to gather the remaining few, but he was sure that some was still out there. He hoped they were living a good life where they were, but he didn't know if any one of them was in danger or need him. But it was really hard to find them. Most of them stay isolated, knowing the tragedy that their name had, fear in their own name, and that just angered him even more. Naruto had to calm himself. This was not the right time to think about something like this. His glasses were already shaking. He arrived in the room. He then noticed 3 others. The girl had stopped right outside the door. One of them was in the corner. He seemed to have 2 heads. Despite being submerged in shadows, Naruto could see him quite well. The other one was a bit plumpy, as he was over to the left, and there was another one behind Orochimaru. Perhaps a long-range fighter to stay that distance away. as Naruto looked down towards the ground, before he looked up towards the ceiling, still not looking at the snake Sannin even once. He then spoke. The possibility of death scares you that badly, huh? A chuckle could be heard from the snake himself. Well, it's not often you meet an unknown person that has been governing the criminal and the political side of the world with his ninjas, flawlessly completed all their missions. Besides, you're their leader. Why shouldn't I be cautious? And what reason would I have to kill you? Tell me, Orochimaru, have you wronged me, said Naruto? Well, given the fact that we haven't met, I don't think I have, Orochimaru said. But who knows? Maybe our path has crossed in the past, and I just don't remember. I'm rather important. Can't always remember small details in the past. You dismiss that so easily, said Naruto. However, a man like you that feared death so much should not be talking like that. After all, Naruto was now beside him as he rested a hand on his shoulder. Kidomaru, who was a long-range specialist to use his arrows, froze up. Death is always around, said Naruto. As he simply walked, the other two emerging from the shadows, Orochimaru raised his hand, no stopping them from doing anything stupid. The snake Sannin lowered his hand. That was much faster than he thought. Well, point taken, Orochimaru said. You trying to intimidate me? Of course not, said Naruto. Why would I intimidate a future ally? Ally now? And when did I bargain for anything like that? Well, given what you're proposing to Zabuza, I must say it will come at a hefty cost. After all, going up against a village as big as Konoha, with so much power, despite what you've planned and think, it will be hard for you to succeed in your endeavor. And what makes you believe that? Well, if you think that it will be easy, I guess I should not take this deal because you're stupider than I thought. The others around the room flinched, but Orochimaru did not say anything. And pray tell, why do you believe that? He asks. At the moment, I don't know how much manpower you possess. However, I do know that you intend to pull this thing off in the finals of June exams. Doing it at the beginning would be, well, rather stupid, seeing that that is when most of the shinobis are guarded, because enemy shinobis are entering the village. However, the finals, you can have leeway. After all, there will be many important people for you to attack to cause many diversions, and the Hokage will be on full display for you to gut him as you feel. After all, once you chop the head off a snake, the body eventually dies, and once he passes Konoha, will slowly break away into nothing, said Naruto. And then you can just use your forces to erase all the stragglers, and just like that, it's yours. Well, that's a rather ingenious deduction, and I can't see anything going wrong with that plan. Yes, but you forgot. Me and my friends taking out the Anvus and the elite Jonins that tried to interrupt you in your conquest of taking down the third Hokage. After all, you and I both know that none of them will stand by and allow you to do as you please. And not to mention, things will be more problematic when Jiraiya is there. And how do you know that he will be there? Well, you're not the only one that has. People gathering information. He is returning back to Konoha in less than a week. I doubt that the Hokage would allow everything to be out in the open without one of his top ninjas being there. Yes, you're right about that, Orochimaru said. Despite not telling this person any single part of his plan, he was able to deduce everything. However, it will cost you extra, but I can kill him if you like. Orochimaru narrowed his eyes. He might act like a buffoon, but he's no slouch, he said to Naruto. Well, that doesn't matter. Aren't we being a bit too confident in our abilities? After all, he is a Sannin like myself. As much as a dope that he is He's indeed powerful. And as I said to you, that doesn't matter. Well then, Orochimaru said, I suppose we have a deal. And for this to work, you will have to bring your entire organization. You said yourself Konoha is a rather big place. Well, as long as you can meet my prices, I assure you, everything will go fine. Money is not the option, Orochimaru said. As long as you bring that top quality work, we shall be perfect, he said to him. Well, said Naruto, stepping forward, making the others tense. As he extended his hand, let's hope this partnership goes well. Orochimaru extended his hand and gripped his hand. As Naruto tightened his grip a bit, Orochimaru tightened his as well, as the room was tense until they release. Time skip. Mito had to calm herself. She realized that she's being a bit too jumpy. Even Sakura was able to notice that. She had to calm down. She was behaving a bit too erratically. As she noticed Kakashi giving her a strange look as well, as she could feel his confusion. Most likely Sakura had told him about her acting a bit jumpy. She had to stay calm. The Chunin exams were taking place tomorrow, and she was going to be participating. However, usually she would be psyched for something like this to show off her skills, but now she wasn't that psyched for it. With everything taking place, with everything happening, it was hard to be happy for much in this village. It has been 2 months and she hadn't gotten another letter or help from this individual that has been sending her things. She was not feeling well because she believed that they abandoned her, and she didn't like that one bit. Maybe they were her family or whatnot. Uzumaki, that name. Konoha must have something to do with the Uzumaki disappearance. She didn't even know if it was a clan or not. But the first Hokage wife was a Uzumaki, so that was supposed to be a good thing, so she didn't understand why Konoha would hide this. It made absolutely no sense. There was nothing about them in the record or the history. And who the hell was this Kushina person? The fox was toying with her, not telling her all that she should know. It was almost like he was walking on eggshells around her. Did you think that she was going to do something stupid? That must be the case. But she would not. She would not just do anything that's stupid, knowing that she was outmatched, outgunned, and she would definitely be killed. However, given that she had the fox, she doubted they would try to kill her. However, what if they could take it away from her? And then they wouldn't need her for anything. So she had to be very careful about that. However, since a few days ago, the strange person had stopped watching her, the one without the emotions. She dropped down on her bed after eating some ramen. She sighed. Might as well get some sleep for tomorrow, she thought, as she went to sleep. Waking up the next morning, she got ready, as she prepared herself, mentally and physically. For the moment, she quelled her mind of all the thoughts about the betrayals and the conflicts that are taking place. Because she didn't want to mess up, she didn't want to accidentally die in the force of death. She heard how difficult these exams were going to be, so she had to keep a steady, calm, focused mind if she was going to live through this. So with that, she made her way. It didn't take her too long to meet up with her teammates, as they met up at the academy entrance. She greeted them as normally as she could. Not that she hated them, but she just didn't get along with them. For Sakura, she thought the girl was just wasting her time, and eventually she will die out there, after all. She was not trained to become a kunoichi, she was trained to become a housewife for Sasuke. And she was gonna die, and Mito knew that. However, it was not her place to convince Sakura to train. She tried it before. All she wanted was Sasuke this, Sasuke that. Sasuke would protect her. So Mito had given up on her. As for Sasuke, he was arrogant, and she didn't like him one bit. In fact, she hated him. Yes, she could actually say that she hated him. But now was not the time to talk about that. They got into a bit of scuffle at the second round, when Sasuke blurted out that he was a genjutsu. How idiotic can you be? Can't he realize that this was supposed to weed out the weaklings? She sighed as she made her way. Meanwhile, that was going on. Danzo Shimura was currently in deep thought. There was a lot taking place. Konoha had to be prepared. It was a good thing that him and Harrison are on track, because both of them knew that this Crimson Reapers was the Uzumakis. It seems like a few of them had survived and was now wanting vengeance. However, neither man could allow the secret of what they did to the Uzumaki clan to come to the surface after all. If the other allies found out about this, they would drop them in a heartbeat, knowing that they sacrificed one of their main allies. For what? Well, the beneficial of Konoha, letting hundreds and thousands of children and people die without giving them a second thought. No one would ever trust them again, and that would be really bad. So they had to erase this. However, Danzo was not happy. The search had come out fruitless. Nothing at all. They couldn't find a single whimp about this Crimson Reaper location, and that was bad. He didn't know what he was gonna do, but he had to make sure that Konoha always remained on top, even if he had to do something truly nefarious and deadly. Meanwhile, that was going on at Kumo. No Kumo shinobi will be participating in Konoha exam this year, as they were all here. As Raikage did not trust Konoha, and everyone knew that he did not like the village. He was gonna keep his shinobis here. Besides, the next village that was gonna host the exams was Kumo, and he liked to have things on his turf. That is why most of his shinobis got field promotion. Same as one Yujito. Yujito, she was a holder of the two tails. Not too long ago she got promoted to Chunin. At the moment she was currently 15 years old. However, she's been training since she was 4 years old. It started out light until it became tiresome. They wanted her to be able to control the power of Nibi as soon as possible. Unlike Killer Bee, she wasn't as liked like the popular brother of the Raikage. Yes, Killer Bee was the brother of the Raikage. That gave him certain perks that she did not have. The Nibi wasn't as powerful. The Raikage didn't see her as someone that he should expend much resource on. That is why her life had been miserable. She had been through a lot. There was a lot of resentment in her heart. However, she had no one left. Everyone that she ever knew growing up with had died. One after another, they had been cut down. Friends, family, brothers. She had no one left. The only thing that she really lived for right now is to go on missions and just survive. She didn't really have that much friends. She didn't really have a life with anything. She never had a boyfriend. Her life was mainly consist of training. Despite having the title of a Chunin, she had gone on 4 dangerous missions, A rank, B rank, most A rank. Enough time she came back, she had been rushed to the hospital. However, a few days after that, she was notified to go on another dangerous mission because she was a weapon of Kumo, while B was safely tucked away. A lot of resentment had grew in her because of that. However, recently, she met someone, a friend of hers. Her name was Akeo. She had black hair and green eyes, as Akeo had been spending a lot of time at her place. She needed a friend. She needed someone that she could, well, talk to in certain situations, even tell secrets to, as she didn't really have that much people. So finding someone that wanted to know her for her, well, she was happy. However, at the moment, something was confusing her. She had known Akeo for months now, and yet Akeo was giving her some startling news. First of all, she took off a seal off her chest, shocking Yujito, and her appearance changed. Yujito didn't know where she knew this person from. However, because of who she was given a list to study all of the missing names from the village and several other nations as well. And it clicked, as she couldn't believe who she was seeing. You're Misaki, she said. She jumped to her feet. Her claws instantly elongated. Calm down, kitten. Don't call me that, Yujito said. So this was all a trick, a lie, to get me to drop my guard. There was a lot of hurt in Yujito's voice, as having someone that you thought was your friend only for them to use you was a bit hard. Yes, it was. That hurt even worse, as Misaki told her straight. However, it wasn't all a lie, just some parts of it. Misaki said that smile. Yujito did not drop her guard. You want to kill me? Fine, said Misaki. As she spread her arms, go ahead. Yujito claws, or ready to strike out. However, before you do, you don't deserve to live like this. You deserve a better life, a better place where you can live as you want, love who you want, and be free. Where people can actually give a damn about you. You expect me to buy that shit? Said Yujito as she looked towards her. Misaki stepped forward. Stay where you are. Come on now, kitten. We both know that I could have hurt you so much time. Remember, I slept on your couch. You wake up the morning to see me cooking. And I could have killed you in your sleep if I wanted to. However, I don't want that. I never thought that it would affect me so much. But I want to help you. Help me? How exactly would you help me? First of all, there are certain things that you don't know. The reason why I was banished. Yeah, of course I know. You killed a bunch of Jonins. That's what he told you, huh? That I went crazy and killed a bunch of Jonins. Well, you should know the truth. Your Raikage isn't the man that he claimed to be. Yes, he might put on this cheery face for his civilians, acting like he cares about you, but deep down you're nothing but a pawn. Same like what he did with me. I was one of the best. Many people hated my family for what we did. You know that we consume blood for the iron, to heal ourselves and make ourselves stronger, correct? Yujito nodded, listening to this woman that she knew that she should not do. I was sent on many dangerous missions. S ranks, A ranks, everything. Hiding my true appearance because I was his weapon. Angel of Death, he called me. However, I wanted more. I realized that my life was hollow and empty. I had no family. One after another, my family was killed. I needed more. And it happened. I fell for someone. Yes, most people would think that I'm crazy, but this guy, he never thought that way. And I wanted to give up being a shinobi. However, your precious Raikage killed the merchant I fell for. Especially seeing that he's not from this village. The Raikage killed him to make sure I can never leave. One thing that most people don't know about my ability is that if I can consume most of my opponent's blood, I can see recent images. I found him, dead. However, the perpetrators are still there. They were wearing blank face masks to hide their appearance. Once I gutted all of them, I drank their blood to find out that they were the Raikage, Bolt Force. You know that little organization that he had that is similar to Anvu? Well, he gave them the mission to kill them, to make my heart black and dark. And well, I kind of snapped. That is the so-called incident of me snapping. And ever since, I've not really been sane. Well, when you know that you're crazy, it's better. And I know I'm crazy, so yeah. However, he's gonna put you through the same thing. And if you don't come with me now, well, you're gonna regret it. Come with you? Misaki smiled at that. As I said, I can bring you to a place where you can be loved, where people can actually care about you. As Yujito looked towards her, not knowing what to say, or what to do, how can she trust this traitor? However, everything that the woman told her was the exact same thing the Raikage has been putting her through. Soon enough, you'll be start sending her on S-class missions. And because of who she was, there was no opportunity she could ever live a normal life. Kitten, don't just go and throw this idea away just yet. She heard the voice of Nibi in her mind. You think I should take it? Well, this woman was able to fool my senses with her special sealing. Whoever she's with must be incredibly powerful. Not to mention, she could have killed you in your sleep. You let her stay here, remember? I don't think she means you any harm, or me. There are ways for her to subdue you while you were sleeping and take you away. However, she never tried. And think how she has been treating you over the past couple of weeks. Or going back to the past couple of months. Yujito looked down. She was so confused as she looked up towards Misaki. Could she really do this? Betray her village? Meanwhile that was going on, three individuals stood on a tall mountain as they looked down toward the slope that head towards Konoha. This was none other than Natsu, Naruto, and Hanako. "Are you guys ready?" said Naruto. The both of them nodded. "Alright, let's move." As they made their way towards Konoha, it was finally time to get to meet his niece. With the Chunin exams going on, and from what he's heard, this should be around the time they enter the Forest of Death. It's finally time they meet face to face. But guys, be and subscribe right here for things and do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they post. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.